Hi, everybody. Welcome to Travel Marketing Townhall. Very excited to have you here this morning on this beautiful Saturday morning. If this is your very first time joining us, please let us know. Just do hashtag first time if it's your first time joining us. If you have been here before, just do hashtag back, and then I know that you have been here before. Now, if you're not sure where to type, because maybe you're watching this on our website, there's a little YouTube button that you can click on. Click straight on there and it will flip you across to YouTube. You won't lose any time at all and you'll be able to comment in there. So I today am taking questions live directly from you. So if you have a question about anything at all to do with growing your business, starting your travel business, go ahead and put it in the comments now. You can do hashtag question and I'm excited to answer them. While you're doing that, I'm going to build myself a little bit of a height on my last minute studio here. Couldn't get anything working this morning. Tech failed me, but that happens sometimes. So go ahead and put your questions in hashtag question and ask me literally anything about growing your travel business. If you're wondering, what can I even ask her? Here's my suggestion for you. My suggestion is to talk about where you are stuck. What are you stuck on right now? What is causing you problems? Where do you think it is that you are not growing? Now, be careful because if you ask me a question, I'm going to give you a tough love answer this morning. I'm going to tell you what you need to know, not what you would like to hear. So you can ask me absolutely anything. It might be about websites, it could be about social media, it could be about converting sales, it could be the number of people that you're getting ask for proposals, but maybe you're not able to close them. Maybe you're attracting the wrong kind of clients. So go ahead and ask me absolutely anything and I will answer it for you today. We are together for 30 minutes. Sometimes we go a little bit over, but I'm going to try not to this morning. I know everybody has plenty of things to do on their Saturday. While you're doing that, I can tell you, what can I tell you? I can tell you what we're focused on. We are doing an overhaul of our services. That's what we're doing. We're doing an overhaul of our services. We are moving towards done for you services instead of courses and trainings. We're still going to do coaching. We're still going to do town halls. We're still going to show up for you. We're still going to coach you. There will still be lots of free resources. But we have realized that the era of everyone wanting to learn how to do something themselves was the strongest during the pandemic. And people don't have that amount of time anymore. And so we are moving towards more of a white glove done for you marketing agency. I'm really excited about this because it's actually what I wanted to do in the beginning, as opposed to being more of an educator. I love coaching and I love training, but it's very difficult to start a full service marketing agency unless you have a great team. And having a great team takes a really long time to build, especially if you're bringing them from outside of the industry, but you also want them to have super high level skill. So we'll be focusing in the areas of email marketing, written copy, blogging, website copy, web design, email marketing, Pinterest, all of the things that you've got to get done, with the exception of ads and promotion. All of the other things that you've got to get done that you don't have time to do yourself, people can literally just hand them over. And if you're just starting out and you don't have the budget to do that, you're still going to have access to our done with you and DIY services as well. So that's pretty exciting for us. Okay, so I've got some questions in. Our very first question is, I'm going to pop them up on the screen for Michelle. She says, we are trying to figure out how to break into groups. Oh, there's not the rest of the question. Maybe you were still typing and it didn't show up. You're trying to figure out how to break into groups. So go ahead and you might want to retype your question, Michelle, again, and I will look out for that. Okay. David says, I am in a quandary about how best to implement an opt-in box for blog post visitors pulled in via a Pinterest campaign, website and a weekend site on Wix. Do I need to embed the opt-in form on every blog post? Okay. So this is a really good question. There's no do it this way, because this is the best way. And if there was, I will tell you that immediately, and we would be doing exactly that. So I want to give a little bit of background for what everybody's asking, if anyone's asking, wondering what David is asking about. So David has a great website. David is using Pinterest to drive traffic to his website. Pinterest is the perfect tool for travel advisors because travel is in the top 4 searchable things in Pinterest. Pinterest is the last positive place on the internet. People are literally 80% of people who go to Pinterest for travel are looking for destination specific information. So if you're doing Pinterest, and I say this also a reminder to our VIP clients on our Pinterest service, this is why we push you to do destinations and to not talk about Disney specifically, or not talk about Avalon specifically, or not talk about a specific lodge, because 80% of people who go to look for travel on Pinterest are not looking at the supplier level. They're looking at the destination, and that's what they want to know the most about. They're purely searching destination. That's how you want to attract them over to your website, to pull them over to your website. So David's asking, once he gets people to his website, how does he get them to opt in for his email list? Because that is essentially the whole reason that you're bringing somebody from outside of your website. They've never heard of you before. They find you on Pinterest and you want to bring them over to your website. So opt-in form, 100% the best way to do it. And there are a couple of different options, David, and anyone else who has got this one. Maybe you're not doing Pinterest, but maybe you're getting people to your website and maybe it's only 20 people to your website every week. Maybe it's 50 people to your website. Maybe it's 200 people to your website. Maybe it's just 2 people to your website every week. You want to make sure that those 2 people sign up for your email list. So David's saying, I have this opt-in form. What's the best way to get people to fill it in? Now, an opt-in form is a form on your website that people can fill in, and it's built in your email marketing platform. So the email marketing platform is like a ConvertKit, or now known as Kit, MailerLite, MailChimp, which we don't recommend, but Constant Contact, those kinds of programs. And you basically build a form that's first name, last name, email address. Those are the 3 fields you absolutely want to get: first name, last name, email address. And I think it's a good time to do a how did you hear about us when you do an opt-in form, but maybe not the first time someone opts in. Maybe it's somewhere in your website. If they want to join, if they want to download something, you could ask that. So essentially, David would create, or you would create, an opt-in form asking people for their first name, last name, and email address. So David's asking, where do I put that form? And do I need to embed that form on every single page? So the good news is you don't have to do it on every single page, because that's really tedious. Like he's saying every blog page. You have 50 blogs on your website. You need to embed that form 50 times. No, sir. Thank goodness. So these are a couple of things that we've been playing around with, and I'm going to go ahead and pop in the comments for everybody to see. I'm going to pop in, actually, I don't have it with me. Flora, if you're still there and you have a moment, can you pop in the link to our blog on our website so that everybody can pop over there and have a look at that and see how we have laid out our blog page? What a lot of you don't realize is you can change the layout of your blog page. And we did exactly that very, very recently. So David, we're still in that test phase where we're not too sure if this is going to help or not. I'm 99% sure it's going to help. So what we did is at the top of the blog page, and I'm not finished testing it, I've got a few other ideas. At the top of the blog page, before all the articles are listed out, is that we have our opt-in form right there. Because that means we only need to put it one time for people who go directly to the blog page. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is that you could have a banner on your opt-in page that they click on the banner to learn more or to receive a weekly travel inspiration to your inbox, and they click on it and up pops an opt-in form. Another way that you can do it is on the single post page. Write that down if this is something that's like, oh, I need to figure this out too. Even if you don't know what I'm saying right now, single post page. So your blog essentially has 2 pages behind the scenes, and in Wix, this is absolutely true, but in any WordPress, Show It, anything, this is true. You have your main blog page, which has got all your blogs listed, and people would click and then open to read more. On the page that they open to read more, David, that's called a single post page. And however you lay out that page, it's how that page is going to show up no matter which blog they open. So one thing that we have tried, and I believe it's still on our website, is that we've put a column on the right-hand side of that page where we've put a few important things, and then the blog is next to it. So maybe the column is 15% of the page and the blog is 85, or the column is 30% in width and then the blog is 70%. Doing it this way in Wix means that you don't, or in any platform, means that you don't have to put your form on every blog that you create. Now, you'd need to design your form slightly, making sure it's vertical. So it would be first name, last name, email address, as opposed to first name, last name, email address. You don't want a long form like what maybe you would have on a regular website page, because you're going to be putting it down the side. So to recap, those are 2 answers so far, and then I have a third suggestion for you. The first one is on the actual main blog page where you have all your blogs pop up, that you have it at the very top there, and then maybe at the bottom as well. You only have to put that on one time and it will show every single time they go there. The second place is on the actual post page itself. So when they go to any blog, that you could have at the top, you could have it, or you could have it in the side menu. We're trialing right now the top, because I feel like sometimes with a side menu, if your blog post's a long format, so our blog posts range around 1,000 words, it means that you have a lot of side gap after those things. And that doesn't bother some people, actually. On a mobile device, it actually doesn't come up that way. On a mobile device, you get to order it however you want. I would test having it at the top and at the bottom, or both. The third thing that you can do, David, is to have what's called a light box or a pop-up window come up. And I would say to be really conscious not to have that come up like really quick. A lot of people say, oh, do it in the first 9 seconds. I don't know all the time in the first 9 seconds if I'm engaged or not, if I want to keep reading. And when it comes up too quickly, I feel like it's kind of like a fly, like I try to swat it, or a mosquito that I try to swat it away. I don't know how you guys feel about pop-up boxes when something pops up for you to enter. Sometimes if it's too quick, I'm like, no, too fast, and I just close it. So I would definitely experiment with a pop-up box and say, if someone is still maybe on my blog page personally, if you're still on my blog page 15 seconds after opening it, I think that you're still a little bit interested. You're scrolling or you're reading. Maybe it's 9 seconds. Maybe it's 10 seconds. I'm not sure, but play around with those 3, David. So just to recap, the 3 places for your blog is your main blog page at the very top, a pop-up box or a light box in Wix, that's what it's called, and also creating a sidebar column on your single post page. Here's another thing as well. I would make it really easy that perhaps it's not going to be your button on your top right of your website that you see on every single page, but it could be a very clear button or in the footer of your website. Join our email list, receive our weekly travel inspiration. You could have both, one on one side, one on the other side. If it's just written, join our email list and receive our weekly travel inspiration to your inbox, or bi-weekly or monthly. And writing them 2 different ways, but having them go to the same opt-in form is really clever. And then also David, this is really important, and anyone else, I would clone the form. And if you try multiple ways, I would make an opt-in form version 1, opt-in form version 2, or opt-in form lightbox, opt-in form single post page side column, opt-in form top of blog, opt-in form bottom of blog. You don't need to create multiple opt-in forms, just clone them. Opt-in form footer left, opt-in form footer right, opt-in form homepage. If it's all the same form, not a problem. That's actually much easier, because then everybody's filling in the same form. But by cloning it and just giving the location at the end of the name for yourself, your clients are not, your visitors are not going to see this. You get to see where they're filling in the form the most. I think it would be interesting if you had suddenly like 40% of people filled it in here, but only 1% filled it in here. That might tell you, which one is working the best for you. So I hope that helps you, David. He says here, he had a follow-up. He says, I tried the Lightbox feature, but it's pretty invasive and doesn't know if the visitor is a first-time visitor or not. Well, it doesn't need to know if they're a first-time visitor, but you can absolutely, I'm pretty sure in the triggers, you can say just show it one time. I would say, yes, it can be invasive. That's what I was saying. Sometimes I swat it away, but I feel like if it pops up at the right time, so I would try extending out the time and maybe give it a test. Now, of course, you want to make sure that you really think through how you decide if something's working or not. So what I mean by that, if you have 20 people go to your website in a week, can't really decide much after a week, right? Especially if they're not 20 brand new visitors. I would say that you would need to run it for a couple of weeks or have quite a number of people going to your website before you can say, is this, am I changing it for this number of people? So I hope that that helps. Let me know in the comments if that helps just there. Okay. Let's just see. Okay. Question from Explore with Monica. Hi, Monica. Monica says, non-techie salesperson, what platform do you use for the pop-up feature comments on your screen when you do these lives? So that's a good question. We use a program called StreamYard. You can go over to our Smart Tools page on our website. Let me just see if I can pop up the link for that. Just here. This is our Smart Tools page here. Go ahead and click on that and or type that into your browser, travelmarketingandmedia.com/smart tools. It's where we have listed actually all of the tools that we use, and I'm pretty sure StreamYard's on there. If not, we can add it. And this is what we use for our, we recommend, everything that we recommend is over there. And yeah, this is the one that we use, and it allows me just to be able to hit the screen on here and the question pops up. How could you guys use this in your travel business? Well, if you're doing a Q&A and you have questions coming in, you could do this. You could also type the question in advance. So we used to do that, and sometimes we do. We'll type the questions out if we know we want to spend a long time talking about a very specific question from an All Access Pass member that they've submitted in advance. But yeah, you can just go ahead and pop it up just like this. And it's pretty cool. How could you use it in your business? So, if I was, for example, wanting to do a promotion or a video on Iceland, as an example, I might come up with 4 or 5 different questions to help me as I'm speaking. I don't need it. I'm a TV presenter and a live news contributor, so I'm used to speaking on camera. I can easily speak on camera for 3 hours and not run out of things to say, or struggle, or do lots of ums and ahs, or stumble over my words. But I know that that is a gift. And I also know that it is practiced over many, many years. And I would never expect anyone without my training or background to be able to do it. It's not a natural gift. If you're a teacher, then you possibly have that natural gift as well. I would recommend that if you wanted to do videos, StreamYard is a great tool. Now, unfortunately, it's gotten a little pricey over the years. I remember first signing up and it was like $14. And I think now we have to pay $50 a month for it. But I just find it really invaluable, and we get our value from it. You can put your logo on the top corner. Let me just show you some of the things that you can do. Let me see. I can change out. See, so it looks like that. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this right here. So that is all cool. What else can I do? I can put myself, I can make it round. Just like that. I can do all these things like this. I'm going to go back and put it where it was. Oh my gosh, I can't remember how to do it. Now I've got these colors come up. I shouldn't have touched it. Hold on. Let me get back into here. Oh, I've just turned it. I've just turned my branding a different color. Hold on. I could do this here. C28, D5B, DB5. Nope, D5B. When you don't know your brand color, there you go. Okay, so you can do lots of things like this. The other thing that I can do is I can change my camera like this. I can put myself in a circle. I can do rounded corners on my circle as well, on my screen just up the top there. I can do banners across the bottom. So one of the things that I'll do is I can put up links like this. My podcast is pre-scheduled, my town hall, my smart tools. At the end, I love to ask everybody for their hashtag best moments, so I can put things up like that. So if you wanted to, you could go ahead and you could do videos and you could pre-prep all of these things that come up, and it could be a good speaking aid. It could be 3 questions, and you don't make up questions. I never recommend that you do that. let me just put Monica's question back up. I don't recommend that you make up questions, but you could definitely put up 3 frequently asked questions that people give you. Sorry, I keep looking to the top, but I'm on my iPad for the first time ever, so looking down here. You could also put up key headings that you want to talk under. So lots of different ways that you could use it there. If you're into video or you want to get into video, that's a good idea. Okay, next question from Johan. I think Johan. She says, my clients are all francophones. My tools are in English. Same for my posts and pretty much everything. Any good resources that you know that are in French, Quebec, Canada, and efficient? So when you say tools, I'm not sure if you mean for your clients. One of the things that I know that Wix does really well, and that's where we recommend everybody builds their websites. It's what our website is that Wix can translate your entire website, and you can have it in French and English with literally a few clicks, and then just be able to go in and adjust it slightly where you need to. So if your tools are all in English, your posts are in English, pretty much everything, I would definitely recommend making the move to switch your website across to Wix. Please email us if you would like more information on how we can help you with that. Our email address is hello@travelmarketingandmedia.com. But that is definitely the first thing I would do. I would get all of your content into French. Okay, Laurie says, I'm using MailChimp, but looking to possibly change. Why is MailChimp not recommended so I can check for these reasons for other email providers? Amazing question. I love that question. I like the thinking behind it. You don't have to worry with other email platforms as much as you do with MailChimp. MailChimp is not recommended by many, many experts. And the reason being that they have very low standards when it comes to uploading your email list. So say someone like me, for example, that might go in and upload my email list, 20, 30, 40,000 travel advisors on our email list, and I upload it. MailChimp doesn't have tight regulations on making sure that I can prove where I got my email list from. On the other hand, other email marketing platforms like MailerLite does this. I think ConvertKit, Kit does it. I think Constant Contact, iContact, all of them do it. They will ask you for a screenshot of your previous email list. So like if I say, oh, well, I'm migrating from this to that. Like when I was moving from MailerLite back to Kit, I downloaded my list from MailerLite and then uploaded it into Kit. And they were like, ma'am, you can't come in here with tens of thousands of email addresses and not be able to prove that these people opted into your email list. And I said, oh, I'm just migrating over from MailerLite. I've been with you all before. I've grown my list with you over 8 years. I've jumped around, tried different platforms. This is my favorite. Kit is still my favorite. Go over to our Smart Tools page, read about why it's my favorite. I have an entire blog written about why it's my favorite. If you want us to email that to you, then just email hello@travelmarketingandmedia.com and say, please tell me why Kit's your favorite, or send me more information about Kit, and I will. Very good reasons why it's my favorite, and why I have tried about 6 other platforms and always come back to it, and why we're on it right now. And I don't think I'm going to keep trying other platforms. I just don't see. Someone would have to do something spectacular for me to move. So because MailChimp doesn't verify or doesn't go to any effort or enough effort to have at least a good standard, a bar, it means that a lot of scammers and junk and spam entities, people with intention, will use MailChimp because of that. Because of that, MailChimp throttle or white label everybody. And a lot of the emails end up going into the spam folder. MailChimp doesn't do that. Say, for example, like Apple or Outlook or whoever your email that you receive your email from. So like I use Outlook on my personal email. I use Gmail for work, Google. If they know that the email is being sent by MailChimp, they'll put it into your junk folder or into your promotions folder, because that's what they do. So I would say that is a really good reason. You work so hard to build your email list. I just don't think it's worth it. Okay. What's this here? I hate pop-ups even at 15 seconds. I also am not a massive fan. However, that being said, if you're on a website that you are like, wow, who are these people? I'm so happy to be here and I want more of this, and you're just so into it, then a pop-up, if worded the right way at the right time in the right part of the experience, is possibly something that person is grateful to see because they're like, yes, now I'm part of it. Okay. Let's see. Tamara says, I've made a personal website separate from the one provided by my host. I've got Pinterest up now and made 300 pins, so that's good. Some saves, traffic is going to website, but still no subscriptions. So I would say the number that you're looking for, the first number, is how many clicks through to your website are you getting? Traffic is going to website. So how many? So the number of pins wouldn't be the metric. Well, it could be the first metric you look at so that you're consistent there. Firstly, I would make sure that you're consistent, that you're pinning at least 5 times a day. It's why we run our VIP Pinterest service, because most people don't have time to create pins for 5 pins a day, 7 days a week, but we know how to do that. And so we pin 1,080 times, 6 times per day for our Pinterest clients, because one of the most important metrics is to make sure that you are consistent. Pinning here and there doesn't work. So check that. Then once you've got, as opposed to your number of pins, then check the number of impressions that you have on your pins. Then check the number of times that people are clicking your pin to your website. The number of people who are going to your website is the most important number, because that's going to tell you. So maybe you had 400 views on your pins this month in Pinterest. It will tell you as soon as you open your Pinterest page. Then if you had 400 views, how many clicks did you have? If you had 50 clicks out of 400 views, people clicked on your pins, how many actually then clicked over to your website? So is it 20? Because then that is the conversion percentage that you've got to focus on. Out of 20 people that came to my website, how many people signed up for my email list? If 0 people, or a low number of people in your opinion, out of that 20 signed up, the problem then is the place that they're landing. So the problem is the lobby that they're walking into in the hotel didn't give them that feeling that they wanted to stay there, or the restaurant that they walked into didn't give them that vibe that they wanted to sit down and eat, right? How many times do you walk into a store, you say, I want to go in here because I'm curious, you walk in through the front door, ask yourself, walking through the front door, you look around and you're like, not for me. It could be the smell, it could be the look, it could be the vibe, it could just be that you can't see what you're looking for. I walked into a home decor store. I read that they had tons of pillows. I'd seen a couple on Instagram that I liked. I walked into the store. It was on my local main street here. And I just walked in and I just saw bright colors. And that wasn't what I'm looking for. I like neutrals. I like things that are black and white. I like things that have got a ton of texture. And I walked in, I like stuff like this. And I walked in and it was just like spring had thrown up. And so straight away, I just walked in, looked around and walked out. So it could be that they're getting to your website and that they're not seeing what they need to see. Maybe they're not seeing a place to opt in right away. Maybe because think about like what that person did to click through to your website. They were clearly attracted to your pin. They clearly were interested enough that they clicked on it. So the image was right, the words were right, or the image at least. They saw the description and it made them feel like, yes, this is what I want. So when they clicked over, is that what you gave them? Did you make it easy for them to sign up? Was your website looking professional? This is a lot of the time, I would say 99% of the time, when a traveler gets to a website, especially travelers and especially luxury travelers. Balenciaga charged $10,000, $20,000 for a purse. Louis Vuitton charges $5,000 and up for a purse. When you walk into those stores to buy those purses or you go to those websites, imagine if it was a DIY website and they could tell. Imagine if the store was a DIY store fit out. People can tell. If people come to your website and you're expecting them to purchase travel that's $2,000 per person each, starting price of a Louis Vuitton bag, a small bag, then it's not the math doesn't math. People are not going to get that luxury vibe. You've got to have a beautifully, perfectly aligned, perfectly spaced, perfect images picked for your website, because if you're getting visitors come to your website, either the navigation doesn't make it easy for them, they don't know where to click, or it's not obvious, or it doesn't look professional. They are literally, because why would someone click on a pin and go all the way to your website, choose to leave Pinterest to go to your website? That's amazing. That's so great. But then not want to sign up. So those are the things that I would be looking at there. Do you trust branch up mailing options through pro membership? That's a little bit of an unfair question to ask me if I trust another marketing agency in the travel industry, because it puts me on the spot and I know people who work there. I'm going to answer it this way. I would only trust marketing to be done for my brand if it was personally curated to my brand, to my sales goals, to the suppliers that I want to use, if it was customized marketing. So I'll give you an example. Our All Access Pass is not personalized to people's business. It allows you to download unlimited content, but then to tweak it and to personalize it. Whereas our VIP Pinterest service, our VIP blogging service, those are not mass produced. Those are individually produced items. So when we do blogging for clients, we will literally write 20 blogs just for that person. They fill in an onboarding form. We look at the suppliers they want to sell. We look at who their ideal client is. We look at the tone they want. Like we got an email from one of our blogging clients yesterday, and she's like, "Hi, this kind of humor that even like this little bit of wit that you use throughout." She said, "I want to take that out because my people are really like they're kind of straight laced and they're polished and they're not that polished people don't have humor." But she described that her clients are not going to like that, so we adjusted the tone completely. She was like, "Can we do like this?" Whereas another client that we had earlier this week is, "My clients are fun. They laugh. They're the kind of people, like, if I got all my clients into a room, they would roast each other or they would have drinks." So we wrote her blogs to match her. Any kind of service that posts for you does has access. And that's the other scary thing as well. Like, I don't like services that have access to your social media. I don't like services that can post on your behalf or put stuff on your website on behalf, control ads on your website or any kind of content. Anything that has not been where someone sat down and said, "Tamara, let's talk about your business. Who do you want to sell? Who are your goals? What are the suppliers you want to use?" Anyone that collects data from your website, traffic that can retarget. There are companies out there, I don't want to say who they are, that when they post on your social, they can actually, because now they have permission to hook up to your social, they can now run ads targeting people in your audience, and they can then give that back to suppliers so suppliers can target them. There's a company out there that does email marketing for you guys, but they have access to your email list, and in the tiny little terms and conditions it says that they have access to your email list for business related purposes. That's so vague. So I personally don't trust any service for marketing. And it's not because I think that ours is better than everybody else's. I do, to a certain extent, think in some areas that ours is better than others. There are other companies that excel at areas that we don't excel at. We have growing pains all the time because we're always growing and we make mistakes. But one thing that I will never do is to use one piece of something for a client and use it for absolutely everybody else if they've paid for VIP. And I think when it comes to putting content on your website, that has to be personalized to you, because how on earth are you going to reach your how are you going to reach your right people? You're going to have that same issue like what you're saying with Pinterest, for example. You're going to have that same issue with people coming, but they're not getting what they came for because it wasn't personalized for you. Okay, last question is, will you offer a river cruise webpage for purchase? Yes. So we are in the process of building out. This is part of our done for you service. We understand that people don't want pages where this is why we don't have pages that are sorry, I'll start that again because something popped up and I sort of distracted me. Not anyone's fault. That's me just having, like, what did they call it? Shiny object syndrome. Yes. So one of the things that we're doing, because we have so much of our audience on Wix, is you guys have asked for us to help you to build out new pages. It takes a long time for us to design one specific page for a client, and then we get asked for the same page 20 times. And it's not efficient because it's not a matter of just add people to your team. As you know, it's really hard to add people to your team because it's a high expense. We have 3 full-time people on our team, but our company does not generate the revenue to have 3 full-time people, especially if they have to redo the same task over and over and over again. Sorry, we don't have the revenue to have more than 3 full-time people. 3 is the maximum that we can have. So one of the areas that we came up is what can we do that can benefit multiple people that we only have to create once, but they can then personalize it. It's why we started the All Access Pass back in the day. And one of the things that we did, this is really great news for those of you who are on Wix, is we have just started to create a series of pages that we can design it in our website, pick it up and put it onto your website with your brand colors and your fonts. So an example of that is a team page, for example. We're working on this one right now, where someone said, I've got a really big team. I've got 10 people on my team. Can you design an about page on my website? And we're like, hey, we can't just do it on everybody's individual website, but we could do it on your website if we did it on ours and we just picked it up and placed it in. It's a really cool feature of Wix. So we created an about page, or we're in the process of creating a teams page where you can list out, and it shows how you can show everybody individually and have a little bio on them, link them to their social, not link them to their social. And then when we pick it up and drop it into your page, automatically we can put your branding, your fonts, everything, and then you can just change the words on there and replace anything that you want. So if you have ideas for pages that you would like on that, so some of the ideas that we have are a teams page, a page for groups. So like if you have a group, and this would be a hidden page on your website, so you would it'd be like macklemoretravel.com/Smith family, and you put the Smith family itinerary on there, because maybe you have 30 or 40 people, and yeah, you could build that out on Travelify, but you could also have everybody coming to your website every time they want to check the latest update. And I much prefer that. When we do our friends and family groups, we do not send people to an itinerary like Travelify or Tess or Traveljoy or Turn. We keep them on our website. I wouldn't do that for individual clients. It's a lot of work. But for if I had a client that was a 50,000 client or 100,000 client, bet your bottom dollar, I would be sending that person to a page on my website. And if you have a group, absolutely, because then everybody's getting the same information at the same time, but they're coming back to your website. So River Cruise page is definitely a page that we want to put up that would feature why about river cruising, top features about river cruising. It would include some links to blogs about river cruising that would be part of that page as well. So any of those kinds of pages, unfortunately, we don't have a deadline on when we're trying to get to those things. We struggle with time in our business and getting enough time in the day to get everything that we would love to done. So we started a new system where we categorize things A, B, C, and D. I got the idea from news. A lot of you know that I do travel segments for the 5 big networks in the US, and the news hour is split into segments A, B, C, or D. And A is breaking news. B is important national news. C might be, and so it goes down like that. And then D block, if you're in D block, it's just like a filler. And if something happened big that day, which is the nature of our news cycle right now, if I have a segment that is in C or D block, I know that I'm pretty much probably not going to happen. I know that if I'm in D block, I'm probably going to get booted at the last minute. Like I'll be sat in the chair in hair and makeup, fully ready to go. Oh, that's the robot vacuum upstairs. So I know that if I'm in D segment on the news in the last section of the hour, which I very rarely am, I'm usually in A. But since the beginning of this administration, I've gone from 20 news segments a month to 2. And the reason being, at first I was feeling certain. I was like, did the networks not want me anymore? And I actually reached out because I'm sensitive like that. I was like, hi, I noticed that you're not booking me. You used to book me. I used to be on air like 20 times a month. And now I'm 2 times a month. And it's literally, they were like, Sandra, we love you. We have not stopped booking you. You're still our travel contributor. You're still our go-to person. But you'll notice a lack of travel stories on the news in general because there's too much happening. Like they literally struggle to get the breaking, most important national news into A block. A and B have become breaking news to a certain extent because literally there is a new news headline every day. Not to start a political conversation, but we all know that the news cycle is hectic. So there you go. Okay. Jamie says, Tamara, I'm not bound by the same restraints as Sandra, so I'll tell you straight up, I didn't love Branch Up. I had a poor experience. Said by someone, not by me. And then next question, how will the River Cape Cruise feature page be offered? I want this desperately. You literally just purchase it in the shop, and then within 3 business days, we drop it into your website. We fix the colors, we fix the font, but you edit the page to however you want it. It's just that you don't have to design a whole new page from scratch. Okay. Thanks for the feedback. I use them for direct posts, but edit, delete those I don't like. I'm weighing their pro option for things like scheduling. Yeah, I would be more concerned about the things that I discussed in terms of access. And just remember, any company, I'm not talking about Branch Up here, but any company that offers stuff for free is getting their money from somewhere. And in this case, it is from the suppliers that they are trying to promote, not the suppliers that you want to promote. Their agenda is different to your agenda. So I'll leave it at that, and you guys can discuss it between yourselves. What I want to do right now is I want to find out what is the thing that you heard today that is the most like, okay, that makes sense for me, or I'm going to do this, or I needed to hear this again. It doesn't have to be anything new. It could literally just be something that was reinforced today. Maybe it's that in order to have people sign up for your email list, you have to make it really obvious on your website, and that there's no one place that's the best place. Maybe it's that you need to do a little trial testing the top of the page, side of the page, bottom of the footer, left of the footer, and you can call it different things, but have it all lead to the opt-in form. Maybe it's the concept of that you can duplicate the one opt-in form to make it easy on yourself, but by slightly renaming it, then at least you know where things came from. Maybe it's the fact that you need to look into Pinterest. If you need to look into Pinterest, can I just tell you, we have the most incredible free resources on our website to get you started on your Pinterest journey. Just go to travelmarketingandmedia.com/Pinterest, and that will come up. Maybe it's this whole concept of video with like branding and everything on here that you're like, okay, I'm not afraid of video. How can I use video in my business? What else? We talked about lots of things today. So what is it for you? Maybe it's about marketing that's done on behalf of suppliers. Maybe it's like, oh, snap. Actually, I didn't realize that my followers can be retargeted by other companies, that it's not done for me, which means it's not helping me to get to my goals. Maybe it's I remember looking at Branch Up back in the day, and this is an exact experience that I had. Somebody asked me the difference between All Access and Branch Up in terms of social posts. And I felt really uncomfortable answering the question. And then I just thought to myself, actually, let me just go get one of their posts. So I went to the website and I got a sample post, and it was literally an image, a beautiful image of the Northern Lights in Iceland, I think it was. And then it just had, is the Northern Lights on your bucket list? Hashtag Northern Lights, hashtag Iceland, hashtag travel. And then I showed our version of the same post, which was, hey, did you know that the Northern Lights can be seen from this time to this time? This is what causes the Northern Lights. This is the best place to see it. If you're short on time, this is how you can see it closer to home. Alaska offers this opportunity, but if you're looking to do Iceland, the best time of year is during this. And then if you'd like more information, it had a call to action on there. And then the Branch Up one didn't have a call to action. It had hashtags, but it had more hashtags and very specific ones, call to action at the end. And I put up the comparison between the two. So I would also look at the quality of the content. And is that quality, are those posts or is the content positioning you as an expert? How long is the membership? How are you going to measure it? Because at this stage, your problem, especially to you, Tamara, you said you're getting traffic. The traffic is there to your website. If you figured out how to get the traffic to your website using Pinterest, amplify what's already working. Consider your business, this is for everybody, consider your business like a gas burner on your stove. I have an 8 gas burner. If you're burning all of the stovetop, all the burners are on, and something you're doing is not giving you measurable difference, then turn it down. Whatever you're doing that is working, turn it up. Turn off gas burners that are not working for you. But before you turn down, up, or off anything, make sure that you use your analytics, use your numbers. We talked about this, the group that we're in Paris this year. You've got to learn to use your numbers, not your feelings. You can't be like, well, I'm not getting any bookings from having this. Okay, are you getting traffic? Somebody came to me recently. She's like, I don't know if the All Access Pass is working for me. And I said, well, are you having to write content? She said, never. I have more than enough. Okay, so it is working for you. What is not working for you? She said, I'm not getting traffic to my website. I'm just not getting people visit my website. And I'm like, well, that's got nothing to do with the All Access Pass. That's got to do with your promotion. You are not promoting your business. Where are you promoting your business, friend? And she said, well, I'm posting on social. I'm like, that's not promoting. That's a middle of funnel tactic. What are you literally doing to put your business in front of strangers so that they can see it? And she was like, okay, fair play. She said, my problem is actually not the All Access Pass. I am still not having to create content. I've got blogs like crazy. I've got social posts. I've got email sequences in there. I've got access to ask you questions. Okay, that is working for me. What's not working for me is the advertising and the promotion. She said, thank you for just being blunt. She said, I didn't want to hear that. I wanted to hear, okay, what other content do you need in the All Access Pass? But actually, that's not my problem. My problem is that I'm not promoting. And that's the problem of 99% of people on this call today. There are two types of people on this call today. I'm going to be a bit ruthless here. There are the type of people who literally know that they have to invest money into their business and consistency into their business when it comes to putting their business in front of people who have never heard about them. There are literally those people. Houston started at his new school. I am so excited. We are beyond grateful and blessed. He's in a K through 12. He's in their summer camp now getting acclimated. He started last Wednesday. We are nervous. We are excited. This is our school home. It's like a church home to many people. It's where you know that you're going to be your community, your people for the next 13 years. And literally, there is a mom. She's so nice. And she came up and introduced herself. She's like, I recognize you guys. I know your picture. I know who you are. She said, I just wanted to introduce myself. My child is that one over there. He's in the same kindergarten. He was here for pre-K. Yo, we couldn't even get in for pre-K. They had over 200 applications and literally 8 kids we've seen go into the new kindergarten class. We feel so grateful to be there. We don't know a single person in kindergarten. These families have been together for the whole of the pre-K year. And now there's like 8 to 10 kids coming into kindergarten. Like, for Houston to get accepted was mind blowing. We're so proud. Here's the thing. Last week on Wednesday was his first day. I already know that one of the moms is an attorney in the kindergarten. And I know that she deals with estates and trusts. And she said, what is it that you guys do? And I told her, I said, we run a marketing agency. We help businesses to grow by doing this, this, and this. I said, we also have a media arm where we create travel content for suppliers, cruise lines, resorts, tourism boards. And I have a new show coming out. Season 2 is filming right now. Season 1 distributes at the end of the year. And I got to say what I did. And I said, Anthony, he's an executive producer and director. He's an Emmy Award winner. And he does documentaries. He does talk shows. He does, and now he produces my travel show. And she knows exactly what we do. She turned around and she said, that's amazing. She said, my husband does XYZ. And she told us what her husband did. He works a 9 to 5 as a project manager in a really great company, one of the top 5 accounting firms. And she said, I am an attorney and I'm an estates and trust attorney. So if you or anyone that you know, and she just went there. And I was like, so like the marketing coach in me was so proud. I didn't say anything, but I was smiling at her and she's probably thinking, oh my gosh, wow, she really needs her estate and trust done. We actually haven't done that process and we're about to do it. We already have someone selected. And she said, if you or anyone you know has not set up their trust or set up their estate, just let me know. She said, I am super easy to work with. I love meeting new clients and I really love helping people get this like super scary part of their life and kind of like heavy thing done and out of the way. She said, I haven't got any cards on me now. She said, but I'll bring some when school starts back because I'm getting some more printed. And she said, I need to do a rebrand. To which I said, oh, funny you mentioned that because we actually have an arm of our business that does non-travel. We have Los Angeles-based businesses that we serve. So if you need any help with your website or your branding, and she goes, oh, I do. She said, do you have a card? And I gave her a card. If you're not out there putting yourself in front of people, that was an interaction between two moms at school drop-off. But if you are not putting yourself out there, I don't know what you're waiting on. We have a plan to run a Christmas markets trip with this group of 45 families, 50 families 2 years from now, and all the kids and all the families. And that is our plan. We're going to put ourselves in front of this school community when the time is right. So what are you doing to put yourself out there? Posting on social does not count. Okay, so oh, I do want to answer this real quick, but can you give me your hashtag best moment? Just type it in the comments. What is your hashtag best moment today? Hi, Mashashi says, do you have any recommendations to find a mentor locally or online? I work full time. I work in my travel business part time. I feel I need a mentor because I'm finding that I don't know. And then there's a second part of it, what I should be focusing on with my business. I'm working on building my email marketing in early stages. I just don't know how to build a travel business with limited time. No, I do not recommend paying a mentor. I do not recommend paying a mentor. That's one of the reasons why I haven't been offering one-on-one coaching or mentoring for the last 6 years, because you don't need it. What you need is someone just to lay out in order what you need to do. And I'm going to tell you that the first thing you need, well, firstly, the restructure that we're doing in our business is going to speak directly to you, but don't wait for that. While we are getting that up and running, we're actually going to have a system where you can come in and you can do a series of assessments. Everybody is going to be invited to come and do the assessment, and it's going to tell you what you should be working on next. Go to travelmarketingandmedia.com/blueprint. Start there, girl. It's free. You do not need to pay a mentor. Go through the business blueprint, start at step 1 and go all the way through to step 4. That is what every single one of you needs to do if you are currently not profitable, because your answers are in the blueprint and it's free. Okay, so that is everything from me today. I hope you had a great town hall. Go back and watch last town hall if you have not, because last town hall was really good. It was one of my favorites. So go back and watch last town hall. I was in South Africa at the time when I recorded it, and it was really good. It's a nice short, sweet one. I think it's only 30 minutes. But yeah, you're welcome, Michelle. I just don't believe in paying for mentorship or coaching when you have the beginning steps or the first steps in front of you. There is a time and a place for that. And look, I'm all for having a mentor and a coach, but absolutely, you do not need to pay someone in the beginning when there are very obvious, but not yet to you, clear steps to take. You just need to do that. So go into the blueprint, everybody. If you're not profitable right now, go do the blueprint. If you're not getting a consistent stream of new clients, go do the blueprint. It's free. Okay, that's all for me. Go have a lovely weekend. I am going to work for 2 hours. I have 120 minutes to get done as much as I can. I am working today on 2 things. I'm working on blogs for our VIP blogging clients. If you want to know more about that service, we write 20 customized blogs for you, like literally just for you, for nobody else. The tone that you want, the style that you want. There are 1,000+ words. We give you all the metadata, everything. So we write 20 blogs just for you, and you can put those up on your website. They'll last you for a long time. And then the second thing that I'm working on today is our Pinterest clients. So it's a lot of work to create all the Pinterest graphics. They're absolutely stunning. Let me see if I've got anything on my phone. I can just show you a quick little sneak. They haven't even seen it. So this is a super sneak. I sent this to Flora last night. Yesterday, y'all, I worked from 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. Yeah, you heard that right, with a 3-hour break. So just to give you an idea, because I'm so obsessed with what we're doing with our Pinterest clients. So this is just an idea. Oh, sorry. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, get it together. This is an example. This is Marilee's. Marilee, I don't know if you're here. These are her pins just here. And these are her brand colors, the images. Every single one of these images was purchased $29 an image from Shutterstock. We paid for that, not her. The math doesn't math because she didn't pay for 1,080 pins we're doing. She's not paying 1,080 times 29 for sure, but we have a subscription that allows us to be able to download them less. We wrote 27 pin data. This is all going to one blog about Alaska. She has 27 pins going to one blog, and it was written specifically. We do not use these pins for anyone else. They are just for her. They are absolutely stunning. So for Marilee last night, we did her Alaska pins, we did her Greece pins and her Spain pins for 3 of her blogs. And it's just really fun work that we're doing with these clients. They're going to be super consistent. They're going to have 6 pins a day for an entire year. So if you want to learn more about that, let us know. We'll be rolling out our email marketing service. That includes building your opt-in forms, building out your email sequences, building your welcome emails, managing all of your email marketing. And then, of course, we have our website as well. If you're interested in website in a weekend, also reach out to us and let us know when you would like to do it, because we're trying to figure out dates. We're going to run it one more time this year. So let us know about that. Okay, that's everything from me. Bye for now. Have a wonderful, 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 wonderful weekend, whatever you choose to do. After my 2 hours of work, I'm on family time for the entire weekend, and I'm so excited. Have a great weekend, whatever you choose to do. Bye for now.